Well, enough rain already. There are parts of the state in both Nebraska and Kansas that need to get away from the drought, but it's not all that bad. In fact, almost identical mirror images, 87% Nebraska, no drought, 86.5% no drought Kansas, 13% abnormally dry Nebraska, 13.5% abnormally dry in Kansas, and 4% moderate drought in northeast Nebraska, and kind of this slice south of McCook in north central northwest Kansas. So the drought is almost over, and in some places, of course, way too much rain. Well, here's what it looks like temperature-wise in the month ahead. Temperatures below seasonal norms through most of Nebraska and Kansas. And then we talk about 3 months out. It looks like normal over the northern portion of Nebraska as far as temperatures, but it looks like below normal temperatures from southern Nebraska and through most of Kansas. And that could be because of the rain factors. If we look a month out, well above normal for rain across Nebraska and most of Kansas except the southeast corner, and 3 months out precipitation-wise, well above normal for the western almost half of Nebraska and almost all of Kansas. So we've got a lot of rain yet to come, and the Climate Prediction Center has been pretty well on track with these predictions so far, as we all know, with the rain we've seen in the last few weeks. At least the week ahead, those chances of precipitation have really broken down into more of a slight risk. 20%, those are the odds coming up on Wednesday, 30% in the evening on Thursday, and during the day on Friday, a slight chance. Temperatures through the week run from basically the upper 80s to mid 80s, and lows will generally be mid to upper 60s. And that's pretty close to seasonal. Normal highs the week ahead should be about 85, 61 for a low, and this is what we're going to see, around 86 for a high on average, and our lows this week will average right around 67 degrees. Well, another June version of our Proverbs, and the way this one reads, if north wind blows in June, rye will be splendid at harvest time. When it is the hottest in June, it will be coldest in the next February at corresponding days. So what you do is you write down those days on a calendar in June and then compare those days in February. Or, of course, if you're tech savvy, put it on your cell phone in your dates and then look back, and maybe it'll calculate it for you. Well, maybe you took some pictures on your cell phone or a regular old-fashioned camera. We know you have some out there, and you sent them our way. Here they are.
If you've got pictures from the farm or ranch, even high school rodeo, we'd love to see them. Email us grow@nebraska.tv, and of course you can share them with us on Facebook and Twitter. We're looking at some stronger numbers in the grain markets. Marilyn caught up with our market analyst. Here's more.
As I came on the show today, we actually had corn is a little unchanged, which it's been a good week for corn, and beans were still actually up 7. But for the week, we put in some lows on Monday, and it's amazing. Since our lows on Monday, beans are up 47 cents.
So what's driving this?
Yeah, it's really about 3 things, Marilyn. It's about the weather. Overall, I'd say there's areas that are too cool. In part of the nations in the southeast, it's too hot. And then in between, you've actually got too much rain that's coming in. Now, that's really causing us problems on acreage that's planted, but it's also the conditions. Monday afternoon, when the report came out from USDA, kind of surprised the market. It was the first time this season that we actually showed the crop conditions actually went lower. And so in the traders' minds, they were thinking it was going to be higher. So what happened, the market reversed on Tuesday, and we've seen it move up since then. The other concern is the acres, and we're getting late enough now, there's two concerns on the acres. The first one is on the unplanted acres. There's some problems because of too much moisture in Kansas and southeast Nebraska, southwest Iowa, and Missouri. There's about 3.3 million acres that has to be planted yet. And that's got the market a little concerned. Are they going to get in? The other side we're hearing more talk about is what about double crop soybeans? And the reason that's a big deal is there's two problems there. In the southeast part, in North Carolina, Tennessee, and Kentucky, where we see a lot of double crop beans come in after the wheat, it's actually been way too hot down there.
Okay.
But then we move into Kansas, parts of southern Illinois, and Missouri, and those areas where wheat harvest is getting held up because of the wet conditions, and there's concern whether or not those acres are going to get planted. So when we bring it all together, it's given us some support and a bounce, which has been very needed.
Do you think this little bounce or the strength will continue then?
Yeah, I think we will continue for a little bit yet. I don't think it'll be very long last, but I do think it'll continue for a little bit. If we're going to get another move higher, much stronger than this out of it, what would have to happen is we'd have to come into Monday and see the crop conditions go down lower again. I think that can happen, but you know, there's no guarantee on that.
Still to come, we are here at the State High School Rodeo Finals in Hastings. One trio of competitors might have people seeing triple. We'll explain.